Hello students and welcome to my channel. In the second part of a video, let us continue to learn Standard 9 History Chapter 3 India's Internal Challenges Part 2. In the first part of the video, we have learned about the unrest in Punjab. In the second part, we will learn about the issues concerning Northeast India. Issues concerning Northeast India. Northeast India consists of 8 states of Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim and Tripura. International borders of India touch each of these states to varying extents. These states are different with respect to ethnicity, language and cultural diversity. The first Prime Minister of independent India took the lead in bringing the tribes living in these areas into the mainstream of the country. So these states, that is Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, which have been mentioned above, these are the states, those have the common borders with many neighboring nations like Bangladesh, Myanmar and Bhutan. These states they have their different ethnicity. Common ethnicity means they have their own common cultures and tradition. As these are tribal areas, so these people are away from the development and the modernization like the other states of India. So to bring these tribal areas, that is the northeastern India, into the mainstream, or to bring about the modernization and development into these areas, the first Prime Minister of our nation, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, took the initiative. In 1954, he formed the Northeast Frontier Agency area, comprising of the territories of the Sino-India borders and the tribal areas towards the north of Assam. Nehru took the position of bringing about the development of hundreds of tribes in these areas while preserving their cultures. Special provisions have been made with respect to these areas in the 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution. In 1965, the responsibility of administering this area was given to the Ministry of External Affairs. The Northeastern Council Act of 1971 was supposed to advise the central government regarding aspects of common interest in economic and social spheres, interstate transport, electricity, flood control, etc. To bring about the development in the tribal areas on the Sino-India border, that is the Indo-China border, and also in the north of Assam, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru took the initiative to bring about the development or to make the progress and modernization in the tribal areas. But while doing so, even the care was taken to see that to preserve the cultures and the traditions of the tribal areas. Student, as we all know that in our Indian Constitution there are 12 schedules made. According to the 6th schedule, some provisions were made, and according to some provisions, the rights were given to these tribal people. Now, for the development and progress, or the progress of these places, even the Ministry of External Affairs, that is the Foreign Ministry, was also given the responsibility to administer these areas. And also, as some responsibility was given to the Foreign Ministry or Ministry of External Affairs related to the issues of the tribal areas. Same way, the Northeastern Council of 1971 was also to advise the central government regarding all the aspects of the daily problem or the regular problem or the problems which were being faced by the people of the tribal areas. The problems could be in any field like transportation, electricity or flood control. Now let's learn about the northeastern state Mizoram. The tribes in the northeast India have an ancient history. When India became independent, the government gave administrative autonomy to the district of Mizo, majority areas of the Lushai Hills. When the state's reorganization commission was appointed in 1954, the expectations of the people in this area grew. Mizo leaders started demanding autonomous Mizo province. In 1959, the territory of Mizoram experienced severe drought. During this famine, Mizo leader Lal Denga served the common people a lot. So, in the Lushai Hills, Lushai Hill is one of the hills in the Mizoram. The people in Lushai Hills are the Mizo tribes. They were given the autonomy. Autonomy means they were given the power to have their own decisions. But in the year 1954, when the Reorganization Commission was appointed, that means a commission which recommended the Indian state boundary should be reorganized into 14 states and 6 territories. When the State Reorganization Commission was appointed in 1954, the Mizo people expected that even they will have a separate state. They started demanding to have a separate province, that is, and also to have an autonomy of it. Autonomy means a right to run their own state. So they wanted to have a Mizo province, a separate independent Mizo province where only Mizo tribes will stay. In the year 1959, the territory of the Mizoram, they had to face a severe drought condition, that is scarcity of food and water, and people were in a very bad condition. And as such a situation, the Mizo leader Lal Denga, he came and he took the initiative, he served the common people, and due to this, he became quite popular among the Mizo people. In 1961, Lal Denga established an organization called Mizo National Front, that is MNF. He asked for Greater Mizoram, that is an independent Mizoram where only Mizo tribes will stay. An independent nation carved out of Tripura, Manipur and Mizo majority area from the Lushai Hills. In March 1966, Mizo National Front announced the emergence of independent Mizoram. So this is the Lushai Hills, what you can see in the screen. So Lal Denga, he declared, or he wanted to have an independent Mizoram. They declared, the people of Mizoram, they declared themselves as an independent country. They had their own army, their own government, and they did not follow to any rules and regulations which were been set by the government of India. Prime Minister Indira Gandhi handled the situation firmly and suppressed the rebellion. When the situation calmed down in 1972, the Mizo majority area was given the status of a union territory. In 1985, Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi had an agreement with the Mizo National Front and Mizoram was given the status of a full-fledged state. Lal Denga became the Chief Minister of State. So as a condition, I told you that Mizoram people declared themselves to be independent. They had their own army and their own government. They did not follow any laws which were made by the Indian government. To put an end to the rebellious action of the Mizo people, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi handled the situation very firmly. She sent the army to suppress the rebellion action of the Mizo people. Later on, when the situation calmed down in 1972, then Mizo or majority area, it was given a status of the union territory. After Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, when Rajiv Gandhi became the Prime Minister, then he made an agreement with the Mizo National Front and Mizoram was given a status of a full-fledged state. Full-fledged means completely established state. And Lal Denga, he became the Chief Minister of Mizoram. Let's learn the next northeast state, Nagaland. The Naga tribe in northeast India is known as a martial tribe. The Naga tribe has settled in the eastern Himalayas, the Naga Hills, borders areas of Assam and Myanmar. In 1946, some educated Naga youth established an organization called Naga National Council, NNC. The Naga tribe is known as a martial tribe, also called to be as a warrior tribe. Later, they made a demand for an independent state of Nagaland. They were led by Angami Zapu Fizo. In 1954, the Naga National Council announced the establishment of an independent federation of Nagaland. In 1955, skirmishes happened between the local Nagas and the soldiers of Assam Rifles. Military actions were taken to suppress the skirmishes. So the NCC, that is the Naga National Council, they demanded to have an independent state with the leadership of Angami Zapu Fizo. In 1954, they announced themselves to be a separate independent federation. Federation, it means a state with a central government, but those who have a independent internal affairs, those are said to be the independent federation. They announced themselves to be an independent federation, but the government did not give a recognition for this. After this, Then the skirmishes took place. Skirmishes means the fight which take place between two armies. That is called to be as the skirmishes. So a skirmish happened between the local Nagas and between the Assam rifles. To stop this or to suppress the situation, the military action was taken to handle all the situation in Nagaland. Several rounds of discussions took place between the central government and the Naga National Council. Central government decided to give the Naga majority territory the status of union territory. Naga was made a full-fledged state on 1st December 1963 by putting together the Naga majority territory and the part of the Tusang. Let us learn about the next northeast state, and that is Assam. In 1983, there was an intense agitation stacked between All Assam Students Union and Assam Gana Sangram Parishad over the question of the dominance in Assam of Bengali migrant. In the year 1971, when the Bengal Liberation War took place, during that time or during that period, many of the Bangladeshi people came as a refugee to India. During the same time, most of the Bangladeshi migrants, they took a refuge in Assam. In an illegal way, they entered into Assam. So the two organizations, that is All Assam Students Union and the Assam Gana Sangram Parishad, they demanded to send all these Bangladeshi migrants to their own places. In 1985, Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, Central Home Minister Shankar Rao Chavan and Assami leader Prafulla Kumar Mohanty signed an accord. It was decided to send the Bangladeshi citizens who infiltrated in Assam back to their original places. So according to 1971, when all the Bangladeshi people had come into India and into Assam, these two organizations demanded that the people, Bangladeshi migrants, should go to their native places. So in the year 1985, Rajiv Gandhi, Prafulla Kumar Mohanty and Shankar Rao Chavan, they signed an accord. Accord means an agreement was signed, and according to that it was been decided to send all the Bangladeshi citizens who had infiltrated, that means who had entered into the Assam in an illegal way, to send them back to their nations, that is to send them back to Bangladesh. In 1986, elections were held for Assam Legislative Assembly and Prafulla Kumar Mohanty of the Assam Gana Parishad became the new Chief Minister. Due to this democratic process, it became possible to establish peace in Assam. Let us learn about the next northeast state, that is Arunachal Pradesh. In 1954, NEFA was created. In 1972, it began to be called Arunachal Pradesh, that is a region of the rising sun. Arunachal Pradesh is the first state that faces the sun. So this state is called to be as a land of rising sun. On 20th February 1987, it got the status of a constituent state. During the period from 1960 to 2000, Northeast India has progressed towards a more mature democracy. This area is on the path of progress through industrialization, spread of education, etc. Students, we have learned in the second part of this video about the various issues concerning to the Northeast India. But from the year 1960 to 2000, there are remarkable changes are seen in these states. They have progressed and even a mature democracy is formed in all these states. And also, development and progress are now possible in all the fields in the northeastern states. So student, this is the end of the second part of the chapter, India's Internal Challenges. In the third part of the video, we'll continue to learn the other challenges like Naxalism, communalism and regionalism. I hope student, you've understood the second part of the chapter well. Thank you students.